Red Wings fans, stand up. Yeah, we gonna throw them wings up, wings up, wings up. Show the league that this is our time. Let's make the city proud. We gon' win the Stanley Cup, Stanley Cup, Stanley Cup. After that we gonna party. We gon' show everybody. We show them all around the world. We show them all around the world. We show them all around the world. We gon' throw them wings up. We gon' throw them wings up.
Sounds like that's they've told you that that's where the goal, that's where you get easy goals.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not easy goals, right? I mean, it's still hard goal is the same like when you shoot the puck, but yeah, obviously like there's some like places around the net where you can score more goals than than the others. So just yeah, I mean, if I'll be there more, I'll probably get more goals.
How was your off season?
Yeah, I stayed in Detroit, so I did way more different things that I was used to it. So, but yeah, I mean, I think it helped me a lot to stay here. Focus on myself and be ready for this season.
Was there any particular part of your game that you focused on?
I mean, all over the ice, I guess. Started from the D zone, going to the O zone. So I guess shooting the pucks. I mean, just wanted to be a better player as an overall. So that's probably what I was working on.
How much of an education was it last year, you think? I mean, was it tough thing to go through, but something that maybe you needed to go through for the first year in the pros and all that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's part of the hockey life, right? No one has easy way to to the NHL. But yeah, I think I was glad I could spend 1 year in AHL. It opened my eyes, what I got to do better. Right now, I work on it, the whole summer. I think I'm a better player than I was right now, and I feel awesome on the ice.
How much confidence did it give you after going through the prospect tournament, leading that tournament, and getting 5 points?
Yeah, that was a huge tournament for us as a team. So that was great. I mean, confident. It was probably I mean, it helped us mentally to go to this camp, I think, and yeah, I mean, that was great.
Whether you started in Detroit or Grand Rapids, I mean, with guys like Joe Veleno coming in and the talent in Detroit, you're going to play with a good center. I mean, that's key to your game too. You kind of set that at development camp too, that you need somebody who can get you the puck.
Yeah, right. I mean, as you could see during the tournament, I was passing the puck, so probably changed my type of the player. But obviously, I want to score the goals. But right now, I'm just focusing, to be more like two-way. Not two-way for it, but like be productive, all over the ice, not just scoring the goals.
Is one of the keys for you also just finding ways to create space on the ice, and you think you learned from last year in that regard?
I think, yeah, I mean, the game is going to be a little bit slower for me this year because I know what I'm going to be like through, and I think it's about the space, I guess, but it's about the patience, and then if you get a puck, you just gotta skate, and that's it, I guess. You be smart and good skater, and I think the game will be easier.
Jeff, there was a play where Nelson controlled the net and Zadina followed him and kind of got a shot. Is that what you want? That's where you want Zadina to be, right, around the net area?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've said it already. Like, there's an area where 80% of the goals are scored, and an area right in front of the net where 40% of the goals are scored. I think Zadina's ultimately going to score from that 70% or 80% area. I think to get to the big numbers in goals, you got to get right around that net. That's the reality of it. You got to pick up what you'd term dirty goals. So it's something we've talked to him about, and it's something he's continuing to work on.
How did you like Maurice's Seider performance today?
I thought he played. He was good. He was good. I thought the intensity of the scrimmage was excellent. I thought Maurice managed his game well. Did a good job.
Does Zadina look different to you than he did, say, a year ago?
Let's keep watching. I mean, I don't like. It's just like with Maurice or anybody else. I mean, we're 3 days into training camp, so like, we got tomorrow, and then we're going to move into exhibition season. So let's keep watching.
We talk a lot about confidence. With Zadina, is that someone where maybe he's more susceptible to, if he doesn't have it, it's harder for him to figure out how to get it back? Or
well, the only reason that would be is because of the microscope that he's been under since he's been drafted. But that just comes with the territory. At the end of the day, every player in the room has to have confidence to have success. That's the reality. And the secret is, learning how to earn your own confidence through the work that you put in, and being mentally tough enough when your play slips a little bit that you know it's going to come back. But that comes back to putting the work in and having that true self-confidence where you got the skill set to succeed, and you put the work in to succeed.
You talked about a prospect's tournament, getting 5 assists and passing more. Is that a conscious effort? Is that something you'd like to see more of a playmaking? Or I know his thing is going to be as a shooter and scorer, but
well, I just want to be dangerous offensively. I think anytime you get to where you're one-dimensional, it's hard to, you want to provide more than that. When I watched Filip Zadina in juniors, he made plays. That's what I liked when I saw on tape, was that there was more than just the pure scoring. So I thought that was a real positive. So, I think him making plays, just being dangerous offensively is an important thing.
How nice is it to see Daly and Eve, and I guess Green's not, just a maintenance state, sounds like it already. Just have those 3 guys healthy and productive. I mean, in the short term, you guys need those guys to produce for you now.
Well, Green has had no ill effect from last year's virus, so I think that's a great thing for him. He said he felt great as he started to really train hard this summer and felt great. And talking to Dale, same thing. Dale's ultimately had a real tough year as well. It was every 10 games, so he's out of it. So he's felt great coming into training camp. I think we have a whole bunch of guys that have little tweaks and whatnot, the normal stuff that comes with going 100 miles an hour into training camp. So we'll have to just adjust our practice accordingly. But I think overall the health's good.
Are Larkin and Green just day-to-day kind of things?
Yeah, it's my little tweaks, little tweaks that come with training camp.
Is that same for home?
Same for him.
With just one more thing with Zadina, I mean, is the benefit that whether he's in Detroit or Grand Rapids, just because with a guy like Blashill coming in, he'll have a center who can get him the puck if it's open. Like he'll be playing with a good center.
Yeah. I think I'm not putting their lines together if he is in there. So.
Potential.
But you have Veleno's a good centerman. I think they have other guys that are good centermen. So ultimately, great players carry lines. So be a great player and carry your line. I don't like giving guys the out that, well, my line mates or whatever. No, the best players carry a line. Kucherov carries his line every night, So that's not to say Point's not good or whoever he plays with, but he's had multiple centermen, been pretty good, So just focus on his own game.
Simon was saying that Chase Pearson's a guy who really knows who he is as a player. What's the value of that for a young guy coming into the league that kind of have that identity?
Well, I think one of the easiest ways, if you talk to players that have made the jump to the NHL for years and years, the number one thing that gets you ice time is to earn trust. And the way that he plays, he earns trust. You're right in the sense that he knows what he is as a player. He knows how he can be effective. And I think when you play that way, you earn trust. And so far I've liked what I've seen from him.
With Larson, you didn't get a chance to see him in prospect tournament because he wasn't playing. But what did you think in the short little time today?
Today? In those 20 minutes, he looked pretty good. I mean, it's super early. When he's in the net, he looks like a good goalie. He's got to stay healthy. That's been something that he hasn't done. And then he's going to see a high level of shooter in the American Hockey League that he's got to prove that on a consistent basis he can stop in that high 90 to 92 range. And but he looks like a good goalie so far.
How important was it to get a veteran like him just to help him out to split the time with him?
Picard, yeah. Well, first of all, it gives us a legit guy who I know can be a real good NHL goalie. Like he's shown that at different times in his career. So that gives us that. And I also think having I know Ryan Martin and Steve Yzerman for sure wanted to have a guy that could be a good mentor. I was on those calls with them in the process of free agency, and being a good mentor was a big part of it. And Picard's a great pro.
Was it as confounding for you to see Nilsson wearing 81?
Yeah, you know what? It's. I mean, I was here when Phil wore 51 too, so it would have been weird, I guess, either way, But I don't know. He still scores in shootouts, so I guess 81, 51 doesn't matter.
What does Ernie need to show to earn a top 9 role?
Well, like I said, about any player, I mean, I think you have to be a good 200-foot player, which I think he has that in him. I think he can bring a pretty good combination of physicality and skill. And that's a rare combination in the league. Not very many guys in the league they're super physical and still have skill to play in the top 9. And I think he's got that ability. So he's just got to make sure he separates himself from other players. I'm going to give him an opportunity to. It'd be great to watch him and see how he does in the exhibition season.
It wasn't the best start to last season, so what are some of the lessons that you took from last season beginning to hopefully avoid something like that at the start of this season?
Yeah, I mean, number one would be health. I think any team that starts with that many guys out it's going to be difficult without, and that's not making excuses. That's reality. You don't want to start with that many, but that obviously I can't control that. So I thought we had a great preseason last year. I thought we had a great training camp. We came out of the gates. We had a number of guys out, and we didn't perform well enough. So we're going to have to execute better than that if we are faced with a similar health thing. But that would be pretty odd to have it multiple years in a row. So knock on wood.
We've talked a little bit about Oliver, but it sure looks like he can get a shot through. How eager are you maybe especially to see him in run a power play in preseason? I assume he's going to get some.
Yeah, he'll get power play time. I mean, obviously he's got a. One of the things that can really separate him is his offensive ability. He can really pass, he can really shoot it. He's got to learn to move his feet more consistently defensively. But the goal today, I mean, that's what happens. If you one-time pucks, you have a way better chance of scoring than if you stop and shoot it. So, I think he showed what a big part of his skill set is. So, I think that's a real positive. I'm really, really intrigued with his skill set. Now he's got to show he can defend on a regular basis.
Regarding Rasmussen, he's eligible for the AHL this year. What does he have to do to maintain his spot on the team?
He's got to show unreal. Well, first of all, he's going to have a chance over a number of exhibition games to have big impact on the game. So he's got to ultimately have a good impact in the game. I think playing him at center, if you looked at Rass's long-term outlook, he's 6'5" center. Those guys can be really, really hard to play against because they're so good defensively. So if he's a guy who can really shut down other teams' best players, that's a real positive. I think his ability to score net front's a real positive. So when he's on, especially on the power play, he's got to score. But ultimately, he's going to have to beat out, Larkin, Phil, Nielsen, Glennie, Enner, Delarose. Just got to beat guys out. And that's the NHL, man. Like, some guys, you got to grab spots. So I'd like to see him long-term. Steve'd like to see him long-term at center. So those are the guys. Those are the spots. You got to win one of those spots.
Is there anything in particular you're working on with Justin Applicator to ensure that he has a bounce-back season?
I think Justin went to work this summer, and he's got a real thick body, and I think he tried to really work to change a little bit of his training approach and lean his body out so he's a little bit quicker. But he's done that already. Every guy that I've talked to from the management side to the coaching side all thought that he looks a little bit quicker and a little bit leaner, so that's a positive. I think the confidence words are something that is important for him too. Hopefully he can play to the identity of really, really forechecking and hounding in the O-zone and then getting to the net. And if we shoot lots of pucks, he's real good around the net. So, I look forward to watching him in the exhibition too and watching the rest of the preseason.